Have you ever stopped to think about what happens when two warriors who spent their entire lives surpassing impossible limits decide to become one? I'm not talking about teamwork. I'm talking about two souls, two stories, two prides fused into a single being that transcends everything the universe has ever witnessed. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine the despair, the shattered ice, the snow stained with destruction. A legendary monster, fueled by decades of pain and abandonment, is destroying everything. Goku down, Vegeta out of strength. Two of the most powerful warriors in the entire multiverse reduced to nothing before a fury that knows no limit. Broly wasn't just strong. He was the storm personified. Every punch of his cracked reality, every scream of his made space itself tremble. And there, in that moment, it seemed like there was no hope. But then it happened. Piccolo throws the Patara earrings to Goku. He chants for eternal fusion. And what does Vegeta do? Refuses. Not out of blind pride, not this Chimi. He simply knew there was another path. A path that he and Kakarot had already walked before, even if against his will back then. The dance, the metamoran fusion. Feel the weight of this moment. Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans, the man who spent years refusing any help, any partnership, any admission that he needed someone, voluntarily choosing to fuse with his eternal rival, not because he was forced, because he understood that some battles are bigger than ego. And when those two energies met, when those two bodies aligned in that absurd but perfect dance, the universe held its breath. The light that exploded from there wasn't just ki. It was the birth of something that defies explanation, an entity that carries Goku's combat genius, Vegeta's technica precision, the unwavering determination of both, and a power that makes gods look like ordinary mortals. Gogeta opened his eyes, and Broly, for the first time since his fury awakened, felt something he had perhaps never truly experienced. Fear. It wasn't a fight. It was a statement. Every movement from Gogeta was a work of martial art executed with superhuman perfection. He didn't just block Broly's attacks. He dismissed them like child's play. That same Broly who had beaten Goku Super Saiyan Blue, that same Broly who turned Vegeta into a punching bag, that same Broly that not even Golden Frieza could scratch, was being humiliated. And Gogeta didn't even seem to be trying. Pay attention to what this means. Broly represents the purest and most brutal Saiyan potential that exists, a power that grows exponentially during battle with no apparent limit. A warrior who, in a matter of hours, went from planet level to dimension-threatening level, and yet Gogeta Blue was so far above him that the difference was almost comical. That smile on Gogeta's face while fighting. It wasn't empty arrogance. It was the absolute confidence of someone who knows exactly what he's doing. The calm of someone who could end everything at any moment, but chooses to prolong it because he needs to ensure the threat is completely neutralized. And then came the transformation. Super Saiyan Blue. If Vasco Gata was already overwhelming, this form elevated everything to a level that breaks any power scale. The divine blue aura surrounding that fused body, the Saiyan hair shining with the intensity of a star, the eyes carrying the serenity of someone who transcended mortal limitations. Broly attacked with everything. Absolutely everything. His legendary form at Maximo, his power exploding in waves that tore through dimension. He created a green energy sphere so massive it could have consumed entire planets. Gogeta went through it. Didn't dodge, didn't block, went through like it was mist. And in that instant, as Gogeta prepared for the final blow, something changed in Broly's eyes. Behind all that fury, all that trauma, all that hatred accumulated from a life of abandonment and manipulation, there was a scared little boy, a kid who never asked to be born with this power, who never chose to be turned into a weapon. The Stardust Breaker, or as some call it, Soul Punisher, a technique that doesn't just destroy the body, but purifies the evil from the soul. Gogeta was about to eliminate not just Broly, but everything bad that had been planted in him. Chilai made the wish. Broly was teleported, and Gogeta stood there with the Atakuri, no target, but here's the part nobody talks about enough. Gogeta could have been angry, could have been frustrated for losing the chance to finish the fight, but look at his expression. Look at his body language. There's no anger there. There's almost relief. As if a part of him, maybe the part that's more good, maybe the part that recognized what Broly really was secretly satisfied not to have to destroy that tortured soul. That's the beauty of Goku. He's not just raw power. He's the perfect synthesis of two men who, despite all their flaws, carry a sense of honor and an appreciation for the warrior's life. Vegeta brought the discipline, the refined technique, the pride that transformed into determination. Goku brought the adaptability, the joy of combat, that inexplicable ability to always find a way. Together, they created something that is perhaps the closest to martial perfection that Dragon Ball has ever shown. And think about the bigger picture. Beerus, the god of destruction, that being who for so long seemed unreachable, that mountain that Goku and Vegeta spent years trying to climb, suddenly doesn't seem so distant. If Gogeta Blue can do this to Broly, what else would he be capable of? Fans debate to this day. Gogeta Blue against Skyrim, Gogeta Blue against Moro, Gogeta Blue against the most recent villains in the manga. And honestly, it's hard to imagine who could really challenge him at the peak of his power. But maybe that's not even the right question, because what makes this sequence so memorable isn't just the display of strength. It's what it represents. Two rivals who hated each other, who envied each other, who spent years trying to prove they were better than the other, finally accepting that together they are something neither of them could be alone. That's not weakness. That's the purest form of strength. And when Gogeta Blue hovered there, with that divine aura radiating absolute power, he wasn't just a fusion of Goku and Vegeta. He was proof that growing sometimes means accepting help, that evolution isn't always individual, that the bonds we form can be our greatest weapon. Broly was gone. The battle ended. Gogeta came undone, and Goku and Vegeta returned to exist separately, but that image stays. That moment stays. The memory that there exists of being in the Dragon Ball universe who represents the absolute peak of what Saiyans can achieve. And now tell me something. If Gogeta Blue is so absurdly powerful that he humiliated the legendary Saiyan like it was casual training, what exactly would it take to make him fight for real?